With Trump's hardline stance on immigration, certain countries have found themselves on the wrong side of U.S. policy. From travel bans and stricter visa regulations to increased deportations, Trump has made it clear that some nations are no longer welcome. But which Asian countries are facing the biggest restrictions? Today on Globe Discoveries, we're counting down 10 Asian countries that Trump doesn't want in the United States. Whether it's due to national security concerns, economic competition, or political tensions, these nations are seeing tighter U.S. immigration policies than ever before. And before we get started, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more engaging content. Number 10. China. China's relationship with the United States has been rocky for years, and under Trump's policies, it's only gotten worse. According to the New York Times, Trump has repeatedly criticized Chinese immigration, citing concerns about economic competition, espionage, and national security threats. One of Trump's biggest moves against China was banning certain types of Chinese visas, particularly for students and researchers in science, technology, and engineering fields. The administration argued that these individuals could be stealing U.S. intellectual property and sending it back to China. Chinese investors and business professionals have also faced increased scrutiny, with Trump implementing strict regulations on Chinese-owned companies operating in the U.S. According to Forbes, the number of Chinese visas issued under Trump's presidency dropped by nearly 40% compared to previous administrations. Trump's policies have also led to rising anti-China sentiment in the U.S., with trade wars and diplomatic tensions worsening. Unless relations improve, Chinese immigration and business opportunities in the U.S. may remain highly restricted for years to come. Number 9. Iran. Iran has long been on Trump's list of restricted nations, and immigration policies toward Iranians have become even stricter in 2025. According to CNN, Trump has consistently labeled Iran a national security threat, leading to harsh visa restrictions and severe travel bans. One of the most significant actions taken against Iran was the expansion of the travel ban, which made it nearly impossible for Iranian nationals to enter the U.S. for work, study, or family reunification. The restrictions were justified on the grounds of national security risks, particularly concerning Iran's government and its tensions with U.S. foreign policy. Many Iranian Americans have spoken out against Trump's crackdown, stating that it has unfairly targeted students, scientists, and professionals who have no ties to political issues. According to the Washington Post, visa approvals for Iranian citizens have dropped by more than 50%, even for those with legal sponsorships. With ongoing political hostility between the U.S. and Iran, it is unlikely that Iranian immigration policies will loosen anytime soon. Trump's administration continues to view Iran as a high-risk country, making it one of the least welcome Asian nations in the United States. Number 8. Afghanistan. Afghanistan has been deeply affected by Trump's strict immigration policies, especially in light of the U.S. military withdrawal and the Taliban's resurgence. According to Reuters, thousands of Afghan refugees who were previously allowed entry under special visa programs have seen their applications halted or denied. One of the biggest blows to Afghan immigration was the termination of key resettlement programs, which previously allowed interpreters, journalists, and allies of the U.S. military to seek asylum in America. Trump has claimed that accepting Afghan refugees poses a security risk, despite many of these individuals having worked closely with U.S. forces for years. Additionally, the Afghan community in the U.S. has faced heightened scrutiny, with background checks and visa processing delays increasing. Reports from the Department of Homeland Security suggest that Afghan applicants now face one of the longest processing times for any nationality. As Trump continues to focus on tightening border security, Afghan immigrants are among those experiencing the harshest restrictions. Many Afghans who had hoped to find safety in the U.S. are now being turned away or stuck in bureaucratic limbo. Number 7. Pakistan. Pakistan has faced increasing restrictions under Trump's immigration policies, with security concerns and strained diplomatic relations fueling the crackdown. According to the New York Times, visa approvals for Pakistani nationals have dropped significantly, with Trump's administration citing terrorism threats and border security risks. One of the biggest policy changes has been the restriction on work and student visas. Many Pakistani students who previously studied in the U.S. have found their visa applications delayed or denied, making it harder for them to pursue higher education abroad. In 2025, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services (USCIS) reported that Pakistani student visa approvals have declined by nearly 45% compared to previous years. Trump has also advocated for stricter vetting processes for Pakistanis traveling to the U.S. This includes longer background checks and additional security screenings, making the visa process more difficult and time-consuming. According to Homeland Security reports, Pakistan is among the countries with one of the highest visa rejection rates under Trump's policies. Despite Pakistan being an important U.S. ally in South Asia, the Trump administration's hardline stance on immigration and counterterrorism has made it increasingly difficult for Pakistanis to enter the U.S. Unless relations improve, Pakistan is likely to remain one of the least welcome nations under Trump's policies. Number 6. North Korea. North Korea has been a longtime adversary of the United States, and under Trump, immigration policies toward North Korean nationals have become even more restrictive. According to the Washington Post, North Korea remains one of the most sanctioned countries in the world, and Trump has completely banned North Korean immigrants from entering the U.S. One of the most severe measures was the full travel ban placed on North Korea. This policy, first enacted in 2017, has been extended and strengthened in 2025. Making it nearly impossible for North Koreans to obtain a U.S. visa. Even humanitarian and diplomatic visa applications face extreme hurdles, leading to near-total isolation. According to Amnesty International, many North Korean defectors who seek asylum in the U.S. have been denied entry or redirected to other countries, with Trump's administration citing national security risks. This has forced many refugees to seek asylum in South Korea or Europe instead. Given the ongoing tensions between the U.S. and North Korea, Trump's stance on immigration from this country is unlikely to change. With strict sanctions, security concerns, and diplomatic tensions at an all-time high, North Koreans remain among the least welcome individuals in the United States. Number 5. Syria. Syria remains one of the most restricted countries under Trump's immigration policies. According to the U.S. State Department, Trump's administration has effectively shut down immigration pathways for Syrian nationals, citing concerns over terrorism and national security. One of the biggest restrictions has been on refugees. In previous years, the U.S. had accepted thousands of Syrian refugees fleeing civil war and humanitarian crises, but under Trump's policies, admissions have dropped by over 90%. In 2025, Human Rights Watch reports that Syrians now face extreme difficulties in obtaining asylum in the U.S. Trump has also increased screening measures for Syrian visa applicants, making even family reunification visas almost impossible to secure. According to Homeland Security reports, Syrians applying for travel to the U.S. now face one of the longest processing times of any nationality, often waiting years for an approval that may never come. With the Syrian conflict still unresolved and U.S. foreign policy taking a harder stance against Middle Eastern nations, Trump's administration is unlikely to ease restrictions on Syrian immigrants anytime soon. Number 4. Myanmar. Myanmar has become another Asian nation facing harsh immigration restrictions under Trump's policies. According to Reuters, Trump has placed Myanmar under increased travel scrutiny, citing human rights concerns, internal conflicts, and national security risks. One of the primary reasons Myanmar faces tighter immigration control is the country's ongoing ethnic conflicts, particularly involving the Rohingya crisis. Trump's administration has been critical of Myanmar's handling of human rights violations, leading to stricter visa policies and diplomatic tensions. Additionally, Trump's government has reduced the number of work visas granted to Myanmar nationals, impacting migrant workers and students looking for opportunities in the U.S. According to U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services (USCIS), visa approvals for Myanmar citizens have dropped by more than 60% compared to previous years. With rising political instability in Myanmar and Trump's push for tougher border security, Myanmar nationals are facing some of the strongest immigration barriers of any Asian country in 2025. Number 3. Bangladesh. Bangladesh has faced increasing immigration restrictions under Trump's policies, with concerns over illegal migration and economic strain leading to tighter border controls. According to the U.S. State Department, the rejection rate for Bangladeshi visa applicants has risen sharply, making it harder for citizens to travel to the U.S. One of the biggest barriers facing Bangladeshis is the crackdown on work and student visas. Trump's administration has introduced more rigorous screening processes, leading to longer processing times and higher denial rates for Bangladeshi applicants. Many who previously sought job opportunities in the U.S. are now turning to other countries with friendlier immigration policies. Another concern driving restrictions is human trafficking and illegal migration. According to Homeland Security reports, a significant number of undocumented immigrants entering the U.S. from South Asia originate from Bangladesh, leading to stricter deportation measures. The Trump administration has increased deportations of undocumented Bangladeshi migrants, further straining diplomatic relations between the two countries. With Bangladesh's growing population and economic struggles, more citizens are looking to move abroad. However, under Trump's immigration policies, the U.S. is becoming an increasingly difficult destination for Bangladeshis seeking new opportunities. Number 2. Indonesia. Indonesia, the world's fourth most populous country, has also fallen under Trump's immigration crackdown. According to the Jakarta Post, visa rejection rates for Indonesian nationals have nearly doubled, making it harder for travelers, students, and workers to gain entry into the U.S. One of the main reasons for this tightened immigration policy is concerns over security and illegal overstays. The Trump administration has flagged Indonesia as one of the countries with a high rate of visa overstays, leading to more deportations and reduced visa approvals. Another factor affecting Indonesian immigration is Trump's trade policies. As tensions between the U.S. and various Asian economies continue to rise, Indonesians seeking business opportunities in America are facing increased restrictions on investment and work visas. With economic growth slowing in Indonesia, more citizens are looking to move abroad for better job prospects. However, under Trump's hardline immigration stance, Indonesians are finding it increasingly difficult to enter the United States, forcing many to seek alternative destinations for work and education. Number 1. Philippines. Despite the long-standing alliance between the United States and the Philippines, Trump's immigration policies have made it increasingly difficult for Filipinos to enter the U.S. According to the U.S. Department of State, visa rejection rates for Filipinos have surged, with many applicants facing extended processing times and heightened scrutiny. One major reason behind the restrictions is Trump's focus on limiting family-based immigration. The Philippines has historically been one of the top countries for family-sponsored visas, but new policies have made it much harder for Filipinos to reunite with relatives in the U.S. The backlog for family-based visa applications has grown significantly, leaving thousands in limbo. Another concern driving tighter immigration controls is the overstaying visa problem. According to Homeland Security reports, Filipinos rank among the highest in terms of visa overstays, leading to increased deportations and stricter entry requirements under Trump's administration. Additionally, Trump has pushed for stricter labor regulations, affecting Filipinos working in sectors like healthcare and domestic services. Many Filipino nurses, caregivers, and skilled workers who once had an easier path to employment in the U.S. are now facing longer waits and tougher qualifications. With tighter restrictions, increased deportations, and slowed visa processing, Filipinos looking to move to the U.S. are encountering some of the harshest immigration policies yet. Unless major policy shifts occur, entering the U.S. will remain a challenge for many Filipinos in 2025. Under Trump's administration, immigration policies have become more restrictive than ever, making it incredibly difficult for individuals from these 10 Asian nations to enter the U.S. Countries like China, Iran, and Syria face restrictions due to national security concerns, while nations like Bangladesh and the Philippines are dealing with high visa denial rates and increased deportations. From tightened work visa requirements to crackdowns on overstays, Trump has made it clear that immigration is not a priority for his administration. With these policies in place, many individuals are now seeking alternative destinations for work, study, and family reunification. What do you think? Should Trump's immigration policies be reformed? Or do these restrictions make sense for national security? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more global insights.